of TGIF since 2010, and he is redoing a speech he gave a couple of weeks ago to make it better. Please welcome Richard Brewer with What Are You Doing? Round 2.
Walk with the dreamers, the believers, the courageous, the doers, the successful people. Walk with those who have ideals, with a zest to create and contribute. Let their spirit ignite a fire within you to make this world better than when you found it. Every time I read that, it fires me up. It gets my blood pumping. So the question today is, by a show of hands, how many people do want to make the world a better place? I got you, Tom. You're better this time. The next question is, how are you all doing it? How are you changing your world? When I was married, I still do have a big, hairy, audacious goal. I'll call it a BHAG, starting a charity or a foundation up to where it's ran off a block of investments. That as long as the investments are managed properly, the funding is perpetual. You never have to worry about the funding. You can focus all of your energy on the output, which is where you can get the best benefit. When I was married, I wanted to do the bigger things. I wanted to make the big differences. And going through my divorce, going through an awakening, soul-searching, figuring out who I was and who I wanted to be, I came across a couple of quotes that really just drove it home and just really hit me in the gut. And one of them is, life inch by inch is a cinch. But life yard by yard is hard. It's a little rhymey, it's simple, but it's so true. Life inch by inch is a cinch. But life yard by yard is hard. Now the other quote comes from the book of Luke, chapter 16, verse 10. He who is faithful with little will be rewarded with much. Faithful with little will be rewarded with much. See, back then I didn't want to jack with the small stuff. I wanted to go straight for the big stuff. I was somewhat overzealous, you might say. But going through that process, I realized it's all about the small stuff. If you want to know how to change the world, you want to make the world a better place, it's got to start with you. And it's got to be the small things. At that point in time, I was nowhere near, and I'm nowhere near today ready to start my charity. But I've got to start someplace. And I've got to start in the small things. That's what I found out about myself. Toastmasters is similar in that aspect, in that we have to raise our standards, and with Toastmasters, we raised our standards when we decided to join this group, to become better public speakers. We had to raise our standards to what we tolerate, what we won't tolerate. To be great, we can't accept mediocre. We just can't. So, we look at examples and stuff, and I'm going to pick on Chad a little bit today. Seeing where Chad came from and where he is now, he's grown leaps and bounds. And some people might think it's been over a short period of time, but I can guarantee you, he's taken small steps to get where he's at. From a personal trainer to a podcast host and a radio host, to being an author, to hanging his own shingle out for his own gym. And as an entrepreneur, I respect that and I dig that. And even some of the more crazy things he does, like his extreme fitness challenges or his extreme challenges where he competes 24 hours straight, I don't know how he does it. But it's all about the small stuff. It's taking the small inch by inch steps. Chad is a perfect example for us. Now this year, Chad and I have decided to team up, and we are wanting to ask our TGIF family for some assistance. We want to start a tradition of adopting foster kids for Christmas. They say that a rising tide rises all ships. So let us be that tide. Help us do the small things in adopting some foster kids this Christmas. Let us be that light for them, that they might not have a very good light or a very bright light at this point in time in their lives. I can't think of a better way to start a tradition, start a charity tradition, than to help kids that don't see a lot of hope. So for this Christmas, we're asking our TGI family to help us. Help make the small changes, the small steps to become better people and make a better world. Today, I'm going to pledge $500 to get the party started. That's what I'm willing to do. Chad and I, over the next probably week or so, we're going to go through and get everything organized, and we'll probably be contacting you. But we're asking for your help in any way possible. Have a good day. Thank you.